I'm Rocky Asuka Romero, as you probably know. You watch me on New Japan Pro Wrestling and, Ring of Honor. But you really should support WrestleTalk, and you should follow them and subscribe right now. Do something cool with the buttons, and see you guys.
Support WrestleTalk!
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I am Luke Owen, and a big thank you to Rocky Romero for that awesome intro to our news episode today. With any luck, that will put the Roppongi 3K music stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Dave Batista has become one of the few wrestlers who has successfully traded their in-ring career for one in Hollywood. Not only has he starred in several decent straight-to-DVD action flicks, he's also been a big part of the multi-billion-dollar Marvel Cinematic Universe as Drax the Destroyer, and even had a big role in James Bond film Spectre. But is there any rivalry between himself and fellow wrestler turned actors John Cena and Rock the Dwayne Johnson?
No, I don't think so at all. Well, I think, and for John and I to compete with The Rock would just be an exercise in futility. It would just be, he's just there. He's the, arguably one of the biggest movie stars in the world. What he's accomplished is not something I'm after. I like to think that I'm a character actor and I'm after diverse roles.
Oh, come on now, Dave. That seems a bit unfair about Rock not taking on diverse roles. He did once play a tooth fairy after all. You can check out the rest of that interview via the link in the video description below, where he even talks about being turned down twice for Star Wars films. But if Batista did want to return to the world of pro wrestling in any capacity, there won't be a commentary position available for him on Monday Night Raw, as Renee Young has become the first full-time female member of the Raw commentary team. Young made her Raw commentary debut a few weeks ago, replacing Jonathan Coachman, and did the same last week while Coach was off filming for the Golf Channel. And it was announced yesterday that she did such a good job, or you could read that as Coach did such a bad job, that Renee's voice will now be on Raw each and every week. But who's now going to say all the silly things for Ollie and I to make fun of? That burden rests squarely on your shoulders now, Michael Cole. Good luck to you, sir. Coach will instead replace Renee Young on the kickoff panels for WWE's pay-per-views. Renee tweeted of the news, "I am so insanely excited about this. To be the first woman to take over that chair that so many amazingly talented voices, and Jonathan Coachman, and personalities have sat in before me." Coachman tweeted a sincere congratulations to Renee Young for a much-deserved move to the table on Raw. Michael Cole added, "Work hard and you will be rewarded. Simple but true. Tonight will be a top 5 highlight in my 22-year career." While Samoa Joe tweeted, "I would like to think I had a hand in pushing this talented individual to lock down a more stable income for her household, but this isn't about me. Congrats, Renee." With Renee now a permanent member of the Raw commentary team, clearly Vince McMahon was happy with the work she did. And apparently Renee Young isn't the only one. Segue. It was a shaky start for Andrade, Cien, Almas on the main roster of WWE. Although the same can be said for Sanity, and the Iconics, and Ember Moon, and the Authors of Pain. And that's only the recent NXT call-ups. He went from being the NXT champion, having one of the best matches of the year against Johnny Gargano, to either kickoff show feuds with Sin Cara or not being on TV at all. However, in more recent weeks, he's had competitive outings with established stars like AJ Styles, Rusev, and Daniel Bryan. And according to Fightful sources, Vince McMahon is currently very impressed with Almas backstage. Whether this means a push for Almas is coming down the line remains to be seen, of course, but maybe he could get a big role on SmackDown 1000. The 1000th episode of SmackDown will air from Washington, D.C. next month on October 23rd. Already announced for the show is the SmackDown return of The Undertaker, along with a SummerSlam and Super Showdown rematch between Daniel Bryan and The Miz, a Hell in a Cell rematch between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, and a SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, and Super Showdown rematch between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. And people say that WWE is repetitive and stale. And according to PW Insider, former World Heavyweight Champion and the Rated R Superstar Edge is making his SmackDown return for the show. There's no word on whether or not he will be joined by his former tag team partner and former brother Christian, but the Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness returns to the WWE Network later this year, so one would assume the company would want to push that on this day. However, before you all get too excited about Edge's return, when a fan tweeted about PW Insider's report, he replied, "That's news to me, so take this one with a pinch of salt for the time being." Why was Lana so upset about her gear in WWE 2K19? Click the video on screen right now to find out. I've been Luke Owen, and that was wrestling.